Welcome to the Kids Kingdom. Please like, share and subscribe the channel. Press the bell icon.
Alisaie, a poor little girl, lived in a small, dilapidated house on the outskirts of a bustling city. Despite the hardships she faced, Alisaie's spirit remained unbroken, and her imagination ran wild. Among her many dreams, one stood out above the rest. She longed for a pair of red shoes. Every night, Alisaie would gaze out of her window, staring at the stars twinkling above, and wish upon a shooting star for her dream to come true. Her parents, though poor, did their best to provide for her, but a pair of red shoes was a luxury they couldn't afford. One ordinary day, after returning from a long day of exploring the city's streets, Alisaie pushed open the creaky door to her small bedroom. As she entered, her eyes widened in wonder. There, in the center of the room, sat a pair of vibrant red shoes, gleaming in the fading light. Alisaie's heart skipped a beat as she approached the shoes, her hands trembling with excitement. Just as she was about to try them on, a gentle voice whispered in her ear, "Alisaie, if you wear these shoes, you will be transported to a new world, one where everything will be different from what you know. Are you prepared to leave behind everything familiar?" Alisaie's excitement got the better of her, and without hesitation, she nodded eagerly. The fairy, invisible until now, appeared before her, a kind smile on her face. "Very well, little one," the fairy said, "but remember, this world will be full of wonders, but also full of challenges. You must be brave and wise." With that, Alisaie slipped on the red shoes, and as soon as they touched her feet, the room began to spin. Color swirled around her, and she felt herself being lifted off the ground. When the whirlwind subsided, Alisaie found herself standing in the midst of a lush green garden, surrounded by towering trees, sparkling fountains, and vibrant flowers. A majestic mansion loomed in the distance, its windows glinting in the sunlight. Alisaie's eyes grew wide as she explored the garden, running along winding paths, playing on swings, and laughing with sheer joy. The red shoes seemed to be pulling her toward the mansion, and as she approached, the front door swung open, inviting her in. Inside, Alisaie discovered a world of wonder. The mansion was filled with lavish furnishings, glittering chandeliers, and walls adorned with beautiful artwork. A grand dining table beckoned her, laden with an array of sweets and treats she had only ever dreamed of. Cakes, pastries, and juices tantalized her taste buds, and she indulged in the feast, savoring each bite. As the sun began to set, Alisaie's eyelids grew heavy, and she stumbled upon a cozy bedroom, where a soft, fluffy bed awaited her. She collapsed onto the bed, feeling like she was floating on a cloud. As she drifted off to sleep, she felt grateful for this magical world, where all her dreams had come true. However, as the night wore on, Alisaie's stomach began to churn, and a searing pain awakened her. She cried out in agony, clutching her belly, and calling out for her mother. But there was no response. The room was silent, and Alisaie was alone. As the reality of her situation dawned on her, Alisaie's eyes welled up with tears. She realized that she had left behind her loving parents, who had always cared for her, despite their poverty. She remembered the countless times they had gone hungry so that she could eat, the sacrifices they had made for her sake. Overwhelmed with regret and sorrow, Alisaie wept uncontrollably, longing for the warmth and love of her family. As the first light of dawn crept into the room, the fairy reappeared, her expression gentle but firm. "Alisaie, you have learned a valuable lesson," the fairy said. "You must always think of the consequences of your actions and consider the feelings of those who love you. Your parents may not have been able to provide you with material wealth, but they have given you something far more precious, their love and devotion." Alisaie, still tearful, nodded contritely, acknowledging her mistake. The fairy, seeing the sincerity in her eyes, handed her another pair of red shoes, simpler but no less beautiful than the first. "When you wear these shoes, you will return home to your parents," the fairy explained. "Remember, true happiness comes not from material possessions, but from the love and connections we make with others." With a heart full of gratitude and a newfound appreciation for her family, Alisaie slipped on the second pair of red shoes. As she did, the mansion, the garden, and the fairy vanished, and she found herself back in her small bedroom, surrounded by the familiar sights and sounds of her old life. Her parents, who had been searching for her everywhere, rushed into the room, relief and joy etched on their faces. They swept Alize into a tight hug, tears of happiness streaming down their cheeks. Alize, still wearing the simple red shoes, clung to them, grateful for the love and warmth they shared. From that day on, Alize cherished the lessons she learned in the magical world, and though she still dreamed of wonderful things, she knew that true happiness came from the love and connections she made with others, especially her dear parents.